From 2009 to 2019, it seemed like we were stuck in a rut in terms of visual effects. There were a lot of improvements over that time, but they weren't exactly visible to your average cinema goer. Nowadays, though, the fruit of the behind-the-scenes labor is starting to pay off. CGI is starting to look better than it ever has before, and it's doing a great job of capturing some of the ethereal, imperfect effects of traditional animation, like 2D cartoons, stop motion, and puppetry. Plus, the dominance of digital cinema cameras and digital color grading means that even a practical effect can have a digital gloss. Sometimes, you can't tell what's CGI and what isn't. For a while, it was possible to believe a computer could never duplicate the magic of the old-school practical effects. Now, I think if you still believe that, you're like the people who believed a computer could never beat a human being at chess.
It was not considered much of a surprise that I could beat 32 computers at the same time. Just 12 years later, I was fighting for my life against just one computer.
Although stop-motion animators were hired to teach computer graphics artists how to make the Jurassic Park dinosaurs move realistically, those days are long gone. So what's left? Do we pack it in? Put away our puppets and our paintbrushes and download Blender? Has CGI beaten practical effects once and for all? When I made my last puppetry manifesto, we were in the midst of a practical effects renaissance. It seemed as if old techniques were back, not to replace CGI, but to enhance it. The COVID pandemic has slowed this down a bit, and in the meantime, there's been a revolution in AI technology. The link between AI and puppetry isn't obvious, but it's important, especially for film and television. AI-powered tech like Respeecher can convincingly fake one person's voice. They could replace audiobook narrators for certain applications. Faces can be faked using neural networks and are increasingly realistic. This can be a tool for comedy or a tool for modern terror. AI can even be used to write stories and create art, like in the computer-generated sci-fi magazine Infinite Odyssey. Many artists have been subjected to comparisons between their work and the work of AI.
We artists have been used to train this software that is a commercial thing that somebody's selling. So we created the foundation for what, like they call, we created the content that they're using.
Right. All of these tools are just the tip of the artificial intelligence iceberg. As augmented and virtual realities encroach upon the real world, soon even theater will be populated by digital performances. Soon it will be possible to use AI to imitate the performances of actors, animators, and puppeteers. Can you reduce the movement of Kermit the Frog to pure math? A series of inputs on a computer-generated object, lit realistically and overwhelmingly convincing? Will the next Muppet franchise be created and masterminded by machines? While the future is uncertain, one thing we have seen so far is that AI is limited to what we put into it, which means human beings are still in control. It is exciting to see what comes back when you consult DALL-E or Midjourney, but after a while, these images start to be disappointing. They can't surprise you, not in the way that one friend who was the class clown could always surprise you. A human element is needed, as long as human beings are being entertained. I recently moved to the beach. You can easily make fake plastic sea glass and use it to make art. So why go to the beach to find random pieces of sea glass? Anyone who's ever made art knows the answer is pretty obvious. You go to the beach and look for sea glass to find those random, unexpected pieces that you never would have been able to computer generate or just guess at. It's the human power of choice that makes the art special. I submit to you that puppetry isn't dead and will never die because of the power of human performance. That's why we go to the theater, watch a movie, listen to an audio production. We want to be moved by a good story and a powerful performance. Puppetry still has that power. Technology can fake it, but we shouldn't give up the acoustic guitar just because Dylan has gone electric. In 1966, blues and folk purists were terrified that the electric guitar was going to destroy music. What's really happened is that the electric guitar has created a new kind of popular music. that fills much of the same role that folk and blues once played. And this in turn has provided new challenges for folk and blues musicians. The same is true for puppeteers faced with new technologies. Techniques and genres will fade in and out of the zeitgeist. They can seem to vanish entirely, but then re-emerge with newfound relevance. Computer graphics aren't really a threat to practical effects in the sense that they are both tools in the toolbox of storytellers. In order to survive as creatives, we need to stop hiding behind our methods. If puppetry is just a niche or a gimmick, it will never have cultural relevance and will fade into obscurity. But it will always have a place on center stage, as long as it continues to be used with innovation and driven by performance and story. Nobody should ever say it was pretty good for an animated movie, pretty good for a puppet show. The reason we love Studio Ghibli or Pinocchio or Pixar is because they're great movies. We should focus on telling the best stories we possibly can, the stories that are burning to be told. Our world is in a lot of pain, and we need art, not just as an escape, but as a reminder that there is still hope out there. And what is good art? Is it measured in the number of views? The free market economy would suggest that the work that is best is the work that is done most efficiently. But art is not about efficiency. It's about expressiveness and effectiveness. Effectiveness in the sense that it touches something in the mind or in the heart of the viewer, of the listener, of the human being. Puppetry and practical effects are art forms. So are computer graphics. Even AI-produced works can be art if there is an artist at the helm. We have incredible power to touch an audience, but only when efficiency, effectiveness, and expression are all in balance. You may see someone else's slick new project or some AI-generated art and wonder, what's the use? If you feel that way, whatever you do, don't stop. Whoever you are, there's only one you. Go out and be the most you that you can be, and prove that there is goodness and love in the world by doing it yourself. And if we succeed or fail, let's know that we stayed on the right side. Go make some art, and go do some good. Hey, I'm Ben Page. Thanks for watching my video for Puppet Nerd. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment down below and be sure to like and subscribe so we can keep making more videos like this one. This video was kind of a tough one to make emotionally because I looked at some of the very best puppet films and I looked at some of the very best stuff that's been created with AI and CGI. And that's very tough to look at, to kind of compare and contrast and see the limitations of both. But it's also a really exciting opportunity because there's never been a better time to use all of the tools in our toolboxes to make something better. And speaking of opportunities, Adam's got this awesome new book out called Puppetry 101, which is all about film and TV puppetry. This is honestly one of the best books I've ever read on puppetry. It was super inspiring to me, and it is absolutely the best step-by-step guide to get you started on your puppetry journey. If you're looking to become a puppeteer for yourself, or for film and TV, for another YouTube channel like this one, I can't recommend this book enough. So check it out now. The link is down below. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next time.